Working on the signal tracer. Test didn't go so well. Alright, I am back once more. It is a 2:30 now. I've got most of the leads put in. I'm going to take you around and show you. This would be the power leads here, the pink and the black. The switch wires are here. Right here, the on-off switch. Speaker wires are gray and black here. And this is the potentiometer VR1. The red is the hot end, the black is obviously the ground end, and the purple is the wiper, which goes to pin 2 over here. Also, this is the start of the wiring for the switches. Now, what I've done is I've got the one that goes directly into the input of the signal tracer itself. This is what is switched. In other words, when all is said and done, all the switches are throwed and whatever, this would be the one that goes into the input of the actual signal. Oh, let me point it out here. Be a little bit easier this way. This is the point that that is right there, S1B. So anything put into here and here, the ground to here, is going to go through the signal tracer. So that's the reason I've done that. It's because I want to test it out before I do anything else. I am going to go ahead and connect the potentiometer. I believe that's long enough leads for anywhere I want to put it on the board, or on the case top. So we'll do that. And we're going to connect the speaker, and I'm going to connect the 2 switch wires together and put some power to it. And we're going to try this thing very soon. Let me get back to you when I'm all set up. Alright, back with you again. It's 2:56 now in the afternoon. I do have everything hooked up. And I have it actually playing. I know you can't hear it, but I do have it playing. I have 8.4 volts on the power. It is the wires are wired, or the switch wires are wired together. Let me point this down a little bit better. You can see a bit better. There we go. With the switch wires together, here's your power going in, plus and minus. Speaker is hooked up over here. I know it's not working because there's no amperage draw at all. I do have the pot screw all the way up, and I did check that to make sure that was right. I think regardless of whether this is even putting anything, I think it would still draw some current, I would think, when it's on. And it is not. So now is the time to go in and check, find out where my current's going, my whatever, find out the problem. So I guess I'll have to be back in a bit. So let me double check here my circuit, and I'll get back with you and show you what the problem was, hopefully. Alright, I'm back again. I found one of the problems. I have I was getting no power at the IC. I had to double check the solder joints there, and I found one was bad, so that's that. Now what you hear playing is the tracer here, but it's not playing the way it's supposed to play. It is, I've got it, the input going directly into the volume control, the high side of it, and that's making it play, or letting it play, I should say. And I can control the volume somewhat. Turn it down. If I turn it up much, it does that. I may be overdriving it. Let me see if I can turn this down a little bit. There we go. See if that makes any difference. Alright, there's that. I'll switch this over to the other input. Get absolutely nothing there. So somewhere along the line I have lost connectivity. It's probably a bad solder joint because obviously that one was. So I think what I'm going to do is get with Bob and see if we can get this worked out, and we'll go from there. So come back in just a second or two, according to you guys. It may be a little while longer on me though. Alright, you can hear it playing now. This is kind of an update. That's down all the way. That's obviously up too loud. Now, yeah, I've had some problems with this, and I'm going to try to explain this on the schematic. I'll put it up the schematic, and I'll show you where I put in some stuff and did some stuff, and I had a couple of problems. I had the C4 was not connected where it was supposed to be. It was connected there, but it wasn't making good contact, I guess is the best way. The chip itself wasn't making good contact with the power source. Got that fixed. But the biggest problem I'm having here is with the transistor Q1. On the source leg, there is supposed to be a 3.3 kilo ohm resistor and a capacitor in parallel. It's a 10 microfarad electrolytic capacitor, and those are supposed to be in parallel with the source. And if I put the well, here's the thing. I know it was a bad connection because I could measure right at the source and I would get less than a volt. It was pretty far down there, 0.001 maybe, something like that. If I measured at the on the resistor or 5, I got 1.5 volts. So obviously there was a discrepancy in the line there somewhere. So what I did was take out the cut the leads there so there's no connection, and I put in across there using some hook leads a 3.3 resistor going straight to ground. Well, I then got consistent voltage. I got 1.5 volts both places, but it still didn't work. So Bob and I were going around and around about this and that, and so for some reason I had it on and I unhooked the one of the hook leads, and it started working, but it was really distorted. So without any resistor at all in there, it was at least working. And so I thought, well, let's see what happens when I substitute a different value of transistor or resistor. So that's what I did, and this is what I got so far. It's a 22K. So obviously that does work, and you can hear that. So you know, it's getting through. It wasn't getting through the transistor before. Basically, you could hook it up to the input, and you had turned up all the way. Just barely heard something coming out of the speaker. I mean, just barely. And now it seems to be going right through it because, like I say, it's. So it is working. Like I say, that's good proof there. It is working. Now my power supply goes crazy with it. I did notice that also. It's up to 12 volts right now. If I turn it back down to 9, and then I go ahead and turn it up again, it goes way down. It says it's 6.6 right now. So that just shows that there's a difference. So I really don't know yet exactly what I'm going to do, but I think what I'm going to do is clear this off and put the tape deck back up here. I'm kind of through playing with this tonight because it's been taking up quite more time than I expected it would. I really thought this would be a slam dunk, but it's obviously not not my luck on this one. So, like I say, I'm going to talk to Bob some more on this and then do some other stuff. But as a indication, I did get this in the mail today. So this is, like I say, and I have my rubber renew. I already told you about that. So I'm going to go ahead and start playing with the tape deck next, I do believe. So I think I'm going to put away all this mess, and I will get back to this. But like I said, for right now, it's at least working. Obviously not the way it's intended to work, but it's working. So, like I said, I'll have to get together with Bob and find out why it's working and why it's doing what it's doing. But anywho, that's that. You guys have a pleasant evening. It is 7:20 now. 7:20 in the evening. I've had my dinner and got everything done I need to get done, and that's about it. So we will talk at you all later, and we appreciate you watching, and we will see ya.